welcome to Georgie's Gundogs at Trails for Tails Dog Training. Hello everyone, I hope you're well. I feel like it's been a bit wild. I put a few up, helped me what I was doing with Puppy. Been really busy with work, so I've been a bit in between videos. Like I said, I do when I have a spare hour, trying to get one in, because like I said, it's really nice. The community is growing, it's really good. A couple of people have actually who wants to come to a class, hello, I know you watch these, said they watch them, so it was really good. It's nice to know that people are watching. A couple of my mates at the Spaniel Club said they've seen some, so that was quite amusing. But it's nice people are watching. I'm glad everyone's enjoying it. It's about you enjoying it and going out and enjoying training with your dogs. That's really nice. And like I said, I've had some video clips sent in of people working their dogs, some feedback, some great letting me know how you're all getting on. So that's been really good. I've really enjoyed that. So thank you. And like I said, thanks for being patient with my videos. And obviously, like I said, because I run a business and I'm training a lot of the time, obviously in person, it's hard to always get the videos up as quick as I'd like. So they are going to be not as smooth as I in my head I would love it. I could do it every week, but obviously I have to do it when I have the time to do it. But they will come. Like I said, don't think they're not coming. They're always going to be coming. So now, like, I've got some space now in between, just in some classes, and I'm going to do some groups, some hunters later this afternoon. Anyway, so it's really good. I'm really pleased, and I'm glad everyone's enjoying what's coming up. So in this video, what we are going to talk about is, a lot of people thinking, all right, we'll be getting some of the good stuff. Well, in this video, we're going to introduce the retrieve. That's right, the retrieve. This is a big thing. Everybody loves retrieving, even people who have the hunting dogs, even though I know they can retrieve, but I know this is a very favourite of a lot of people, and it is great fun. But we're going to talk a lot about retrieving, some things that you probably recognise happen from puppy to adult, and why I teach it this way. It's a fabulous way that I excuse me, that I learn a way of dealing, starting to teach the pattern, because this is the thing. It's all about the pattern, really. You want that straight out, straight back, okay? It's important. And the reason why we have that pattern of straight out, straight back is because we need them dogs when they're out there, especially on live game. They have got to be as quick as possible, picking the game up and bringing it back in, especially if you get a runner. A runner is a bird that has been shot but not killed, let's say, properly, and we need to get that game as soon as possible and dispatch it as fast as possible. So it's important that our dog take our lines and they are out there as fast as they can and fast as they can back. But there are a lot of layers in retrieving. There are a lot of different type of retrieving. There are a lot of challenges when they are retrieving out there on the shoots, on the trials and everything. No ground is going to be the same. There's going to be such a big journey when it comes to your retrieving journey. It's not just as simple as go out straight back. Like, I know that is important and that's what we want because it's the most efficient dog, but there are many layers in retrieving. Retrieving is way more complex than people think. There's so much to it, and requirements for different dogs with whatever stage they are doing in their gun dog. Okay, so me with a spaniel, a lot of the time they're going to be sent from where they've stopped, okay, where they've stopped to that flush. If you are trialing them or you're rough shooting them, they've got to go from where they are. There might be times you can call them in. Example, if you were on your own shoot, you can do, but in a trial, especially an open level, that dog's got to go from wherever it is, okay? So there's different types of retrieves. You know, retrievers have got to be by your side. The HPRs have got to be out there as well. Do you know what I mean? They've got to go where they are from when the handler says. There's different types, okay? But the fundamental pattern of it all is go out, come back. And in this training clip, all you're going to learn is the pattern, okay? Because all the others that are going to come later down the line, you're going to see how big it is. You know, there are so many different ones, from blinds, which are unseen retrieves. So these are things that have fallen but the dog may not have seen, okay, that they've gone down into an area wherever the game is and the dog can't see it. They have to build a line on that, and we have to send them to an area they might not know something is, okay? Then you have your memories, that's seeing something fall, and they've got to remember where it is gone, and when we have to send them there, it might not be in that moment, it might be later, or we've had to pull them away from it for whatever reasons, but I can get into them separate. All right, mark retrieves, that is the scene retrieve. So that is something that they've marked in the air, been shot, they mark it, they follow it down to wherever it lands, and that's where we'd send them for that mark retrieve. Okay, there are a million ones, even delayed marks. Okay, so they've had a mark and they're delayed on it, maybe another dog's working on something. There are a million things, right? So this is what I'm saying to you. Retrieving is complex because the grounds are going to be different. There's going to be barriers. Excuse me. Oh, oh my God, I've just sneezed on YouTube. Oh my God. Oh well, I'm not editing that out. It is what it is. Bless me, by the way. And thank you anybody who actually said bless you behind the camera. That's quite amusing. Like I said, there are many challenges. We've got water retrieves. We've got different covers, woodlands, crops, you name it. Bracken, heather, different terrains, flat terrains, up hills, down hills, you name it. Going across things, through things. This is what I'm saying. It's complex. So what we've got to do is first get the pattern. That's what I'm getting at. There's no point doing the fancy retrieves if you haven't got a straight out, straight back. There's no point, because it will fall apart out there, okay? A lot of people rush retrieves when the retrieve itself, the retrieve chain, is not stable, is not consistent, okay? And the thing is, though, with a lot of the retrieve pattern, a lot of people have way more problems than you think with the Gundogs, even the retrievers, because actually going out and picking something and bringing it back to release is actually quite challenging, okay? They're coming back with something is not that natural. They will, as a lot of puppies will, but it is, they've retrieved it and they've got hold of it, but it's actually saying, right, you're going to bring it back to me. We've got to build that value in coming back to us. We've got to teach that pattern, go out, come back, go out, come back. Also with your patterns, you know, with your retrieving, we'll have different cues for different retrieves, okay? So for me, and everybody has different ones. Some people say, oh, I don't say that, I say this and that. So for me, on a marked retrieve, I say get it. That's just my personal preference. Some people like back, some like out. It's whatever suits you. You could have bananas. I know somebody who has like bloody Harry Potter names for some all different retrieves. Doesn't matter. The cue, it's what we teach that cue, okay? How we teach that cue. So for me, it's get it. Then I have my blinds and memories, which is get out, which means get out to that area and find whatever's out there, okay? Then I have, obviously, my lefts and my rights, my backs, okay? So my right would be out, my left would be away, my back, which is pushing the dog back, would be back, okay? So I have different cues for them. So this is other things, but all you're doing in this video today is learning the pattern. So for me, it'll be, you'll see me say get it. Now, I want to build the pattern. Here's another thing. A lot of people chuck things out for the dog, and I'm not sure, especially young puppies, that some puppies might not bring that back. You don't know your puppy as of yet. You'll get some that will, straight off the bat. They're just, wait, look what I got, bring it in. A lot of people have another fallout is because they're always prizing stuff out of dogs' mouths all the time from quite a young age. So when they do throw something out, they wonder why the dog doesn't want to bring it in. Well, every time I brought you something, you've some prize it out my mouth, right? So what you're going to learn in this video is I don't use an article first when I'm teaching a pattern. I use a food bowl. So I can just teach them to go out, come back, go out, come back. I use my place board because I built value in the place board. I've done a sit stay on the place board. I built all this in. So you will start to see why I teach certain things. I'm starting to link them together, sit for the food as well. I will have a food bowl out there, them at the side of the board. I'll put the food out in the board and then I'll just send them towards the food, okay? Also, I might teach them my line up, okay? So they learn to line with my hand, all right? A lot of marks, I don't always need to use my hand, but it depends on what the mark is. So like a mark retrieve, like I said, is a scene. If the dog's seen it, I shouldn't need to line into it. They can just send them on my verbal, okay? The spaniels, especially if you're out there, if they've kept locked on, or the retrievers have kept locked on that mark, you shouldn't need your line of your arm. But it's still an important skill to put in your chain of your retrieve pattern. A lot of people as well in the retrieve pattern, when they send the dog out, they throw their arm out. Do not do that. That, when you line your dog out for a retrieve, that means you're going that way. That doesn't mean go, it doesn't mean release, it means you're going that way. So the dog learns to follow your line. Body language should be straight on to where your retrieve is. I personally don't like leaning over the dog or anything. I like to be in line with the dog, and my body language is pushing me and the dog to where I'm thinking. So my whole body is locking onto where that retrieve is. Okay, with any of your retrieves, your body language should be giving that dog that communication of where you want them to go. So like I said, you're in this training clip, you're going to see that I use a food bowl, and I use a food bowl because it stops the pressure of trying to take the article off. Because what it is so funny with retrieving is everybody gets very golem. One of my dear friends said it's like the chimps, isn't it? That's our nature of our chimp. We like to grab whatever things are. But I call it the golem syndrome, right? Where people see something, I need to take it out of your mouth. We just go weird. And that, my friend, she's right. It's that chimp thing. It's mine, right? Well, these dogs are aware of that. And when we start fiddling and trying to grab too much, especially in the early learning of the retrieve, they're likely the problems will arise pretty quickly. Like I did an exercise with some of my lot yesterday, and we just worked on the lines going out to food bowls, coming back. Then we brought the article in when they'd done quite a lot, working on patterns, different areas as well. And then we brought the article out. The dogs just brought it in because they built that pattern and value in that pattern. That's another thing. We've got to be valuable to want them to come, whatever they've got, to bring it into us. I want them valuable here. We want them to drive it into us. And that, a lot of time, people don't build the drive back. Some dogs fly out, but sometimes they can be a bit hesitant on the way back. We want, come on, fly it at me. I want to have a dog pushing it at me than a dog that is not think. Don't get me wrong, you're going to have some dogs, even when you've built the pattern, that might have the moments of madness, of like going around you, which is quite common in spaniels, right? You'll have some who are a bit sticky on delivering it to you, but we can work all on that. But if this pattern, I've done a lot of the food bowl, it usually really responds well to the dog because they've learnt the pattern and are consistent. And what I love about the food bowls is I can make different lengths of retrieves as well without worrying about the dog going off, running around, throwing the dummy in the air, doing this, doing that. If I build these patterns, and I do it with all my retrieves, getting longer, different directions, with all the food bowls, I can be really consistent in what I'm teaching. Go out, come back, go out, come back, go out, come back, yeah? And you'll also see in the pattern is how I send them from the board. So I'm at the side of the board, lining them out to the bowl, bang, right, I get it. I step behind the board, I recall them in. Okay, so that they have to come on the board, and if I built by on the board, they will. They can sit up or stand up or head up, and I pay them in the position. Okay, this should also help with delivery and bring in something to you with head up. Now, I'm not saying it's going to solve all delivery things, because some dogs are different, right? Some need a whole separate delivery exercise, and I will try and do videos of different delivery exercises you can do. Some dogs do need that. Also, it's a trust thing as well when they're giving you something. These dogs like carrying my young Siddy, who you've seen in a lot of the videos, we've had to really work on that delivery part because he has a thing for running and carrying. He loves retrieving. He's a flipping powerhouse when he gets on it, right? But he also loves running and he also loves carrying. So there were times, even when I probably moved too soon from the pattern training, where he would go round me, okay? He wanted to keep running with it. So for him, his reward was if you come straight into me and deliver, you get to do that behaviour behind. Because also you've got to think of what is the value. You will find as well a lot, this is for the retriever lot, will surprise you, is Labradors, once they, especially Labradors or all the Goldies or whatever, they start retrieving and they get really into it. Food is not the be all and end all. Some, yeah, will still be. Everyone thinks, oh, retrievers, the gannet. Not when they start retrieving, not when they start powering out. So sometimes you have to think about what the reward is when you're coming in, okay? But at the moment, like I said, I'm just talking through examples of what can happen, things to think about when you probably have gone wrong. You might recognise things that I'm saying and go, oh yeah, that's happened to me. This is why this pattern is really beneficial. And I do sometimes, if I want to warm the dog up, I just do a few of these and then I go, especially like at the moment, like I said with Sid and he's running, it really goes right, then I'll fire in something to it. I've even started doing, I do it with the puppies. once I've got the little sit stays and the wait for the food, I build in a bit of fun pattern with them, okay? Because I've also done the recall training with them. So I pair it all together and I build on it. So that puppy goes out, come back, go out, come back, go out, come back, go out. So when I do put an article for the puppy, that they'll likely pick it and they'll remember the pattern that we're doing, because my body language will be saying the same. It will be the same picture, just an article, not a food bowl. The pup should run out, pick it, bring it back, okay? Don't get me wrong with puppies, right? I do the play of holding them back, because it's important in being because control, depending on the puppy again. And I throw out and I let them play. But I usually do that down channel. So for people with puppies, I usually do it down channels. So like a hallway or somewhere that the pup can't run either side. I might have my wall back to something so that they have to bring it into me and I can build play and value in it. And I will try and do a little clip of a puppy doing the pattern as well as Sid on this. It'll be important. But I will at some point do like a little introduction to puppy retrieving. I've got a cracking video, I think, somewhere of me and Sid actually, when he was a pup, so I'll try and find that. If not, I'll try and do it with Jimmy. But in this episode, obviously it's all about building that pattern. Those who do struggle, you'll also find some dogs are going to be really keen retrievers, some may not be, okay? Again, it's really difficult to get it all in one clip about what might be going on and how you can change it, but there are a variety of things you can do. Some spaniels really struggle with transferring retrieving after they've been hunting. They find that transfer, some will be really good at it, some will find, oh no, hunting will wait, and they'll skip the dummy, or they'll go out and they'll ignore it and want to carry on hunting. That is quite common, okay? You'll get some, it depends on the stage in their life, adolescent bloody males, right? This will be one that you might recognise, where sometimes you send them out, they go, they come back, they drop it, they mark something, all right? That's a whole different story. But these are things that we all have to be aware of. But if we build in his pattern, it supports these situations a lot better than trying to throw something out in an environment that may be too much. The dog's not got a solid pattern anyway. You know you've had battles with it. So this is a really good way to, one, control yourself a little bit, tidy yourself up and work on that pattern. And like I said, once you learn this pattern with the food bowl, you've got scopes to do loads of different things without the pressure of and taking something off you. So it's a really good one. Don't get me wrong, in the video I'll show you how I bring the pattern in and then bring an article in the training clip, so you see like a little bit of how I've got to that end product and what it does when the article's out. But what you're going to learn is go out, come back. That's what we're teaching them, the value. Go out, fire back. Go out, fire back. If you have some dogs who you might say, not a foodie, so they might not fire back as quickly, play a game with them when they've come in. If some like a ball, if they've got a good drop, that is, they like a ball, they like a tug, you can send them for the food, they come back, tug with them, play with them, do something that they enjoyed back here. Some people have other games behind them, right? It's just about going out, driving back to me, building that pattern, learning to sit by my side, learning to lock on, line out, go out, recall back, sit up, present, right? Step round, back, ready to lie. Because that's another thing, when you do your patterns with your retrieves, you don't want the dog to swing straight into heel, but you don't know what you might be doing next, especially your retriever. Like, you could be moving over to somewhere else, doesn't mean you're going straight back out there. Yeah, spaniels, you probably like to get back in hunting, so I don't want you at my heel all the time, right? You might need to be staying there, need to cast you back into hunting. Same with the HPRs, and that's a million different things, right? All I want is go out, but I still do teach a step round if I need to walk you off for whatever reason, okay? So, like I said, this is a big game changer for me and building in value for all the dogs, especially when you want to bring something in. If you do have questions about ones who might be struggling picking up or not wanting to pick up, we have to find out what will get them to pick up, what might be their motivation to get them to pick. We might have to sometimes what we call shape it, so we might have to, like, some people call it the clicker retrieve, okay, where we have to shape every bit of the retrieve back to the dog. Some dogs, they might need something in it, like I quite like the clams and dummy things you can put food in, so they have to bring it back, so we open it and deliver it. There's also other ways, like there's a million ways. Hand teaching hand targets, that's why hand target I said is valuable. There's a lot of ways, but I can't solve all your problems in this episode. I'm just giving you examples, because also I don't know your dogs individually. I've not seen them working. Okay, these clips are just to give you areas, and obviously some of the advice you can sort of see, like I said, you can take away and think about things. But today all it's about is you guys learning the pattern and having fun with it. Don't rush it as well. Just because you might see me showing the finish end of it in the video doesn't mean you should do it in your first session. Work on the pattern way before that you put that article in, especially if you've got them who are really article like, oh, let me at it. Bloody build that pattern in. Get him out, get him back. Get him out, get him back. Get him out, get him back. Right? And that's what, so like I said, don't put that article in, don't rush it. Get your pattern, do different angles with him, like out here, out there, you know, length, small, short, long, whatever. Have fun with it first. When you think they're really being consistent, put an article out. Now, if you are going to, when you do put an article, like I said, find a bit of a channel so that they can't career around. Don't go out in the middle of a big wide field with your place board and think they're probably going to follow your line just there and then. You might blow the bloody brains. Right, find a lane, find a path, find something like that when you do, or in your hallway or somewhere like that, where you can just, when they do got, they learn that come out, go back, come out, go back, go out, come back, go out, come back, other way around, back, back, back. Right, I get quite passionate about it, because I do like, even though I'm a spaniel person, right, I like the precision. That's why I still love training the retrievers. I love the precision, and I like to try and train my spaniels like a retriever, basically, when it comes to retrieving. Because you know what they say, you win on your hunting, you lose on your retrieve, right? And I want that precision in my retrieves, and it does frustrate me if my retrieves aren't really clean and stuff. And at the moment with my adolescents, we are up and down at the moment, so I do go back to stages like this. I have been making it a bit more simple for him, keeping it working on that pattern, because he goes up and down. Some days he's firing at me, some days not, because his hormones are all over the show. So I've got to be patient with him, right? But this is a good one, because when you need to go back, it's a fun one to go back on. They usually really enjoy it, right? And you can really work on that again, and then you bring it back and they're like, right, I've got what you wanted, okay? So what you're going to see in the clip is how I train it. So you're going to need your place board, you're going to need a food bowl, you're going to need a handful of food, okay? Find a nice area to do it. And I'm going to put up how I train it. I'm going to do a clip with Poppy, because it'd be fun to see it with Poppy, a young puppy for the puppy owners. And I will also do one with Sid. But I'm going to show both of them picking an article, both of them doing the pattern. I will talk through with Poppy, because it's nice for Poppy to just sit and have a bit of a watch and learn why I'm talking, because I want him to get used to that anyway. So I'll talk through what I'm going to do with Poppy and show you think, because obviously Sid knows it super well, and then I'll bring Sid out and show it with an adult on how you can do stuff with it. All right, so like I said, it's nice to see everyone, not see everyone because I just hear you, speak to you on social. Thanks for joining. I really hope you enjoy this. If you have any questions about retrieving, like I said, this is just the introduction to the pattern, so don't overthink it. Don't think about if you are a more advanced dog and you're having struggles somewhere else, this might be just good to just warm back up on things, but it's not going to solve everything, okay? But enjoy it. Like I said, it's the introduction to pattern, building value in the pattern, learning your lines, because lines are everything. All right, so hope you enjoy the clip. See you later, guys. Bye. So in this video I'm going to teach Jimmy the retrieve pattern, aren't we? It's good for you to see, because he's just started doing a little bit of this, so it's nice for you to see quite a fresh dog who hasn't done a lot of this training before and how we do it. So you will see a few elements of earlier videos of how we've got to this stage, i.e. place board, sit, stay for their food, okay, coming in on the board, building value, and recall. You're going to see all them stages. So what I'm going to do with young Jimmy, I'm just paying him at the moment for being sat by my side, which is an important skill for any gun dog, so you want to keep rewarding that at any opportunity. That's why I like to do the videos sometimes, because it teaches them to be at your side. All right, especially a puppy. I don't expect him to always be here at the moment. That would be asking quite a lot. If he does, I pay it, but there might be times he might go, Mum, I need a little break, I'm a little pup, okay? By the way, so people don't think I hammer my puppies. I do not hammer them, okay? I literally do a little bit of kettle training here and there. So what I'm going to do with young Jimmy is I've got a food bowl, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the food bowl out in front of me. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to send Jimmy for the food bowl. I might teach him the lineup, which I actually haven't done yet. I've just let him get the food bowl, okay? So I will show you that first, so I'm building value in that dog, telling that dog the pattern of go out, come back. Again, your sit stay is going to come into place. This is a bit of steadiness. I do like to teach steady personally with my pups first, because it makes my life a lot easier, especially with boys later on down the line. When I do put an article out though, if he runs in, I don't go mad at a puppy, okay? I'm not going to do that. With Sid, I would expect him not to run in, but I will pay for that feedback, and I will show you how to make him steady in this line as well, so that they don't, because some dogs might see it and go, oh my God, I'm going to rush on that. All right, if you've got a good sit stay for your food, they should be able to manage this. And again, a sit stay on the board, okay? So here it goes. So what I'm going to do is, oh, geese are going over that time of year. Good boy, Jimmy. So I'm just rewarding Jimmy for some birds that have just gone flying over. Good lad, and coming back to me. I have a spaniel. Birds are about me, not birds. Right, so I'm going to do this. Come on, Jimmy. Good boy. Well done. So I'm going to leave Jimmy here. I'm going to walk out. All right. He spooked you. I think the bird spooked him. Good boy. Sit. All right. So I'm going to put a bit of food there. Leave the bowl there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk over to Jimmy and pay him for remaining there. Okay, I'm not rushing him. Right, turn. Whistle at the ready always before you send a retrieve. Get it. Yay, good boy. And I'm going to pay you in the retrieve. You've seen, when I sent him out, I stepped behind the board. Okay, this is to draw him back in. The sit, so eventually I will get to, hopefully it will help with my delivery when they do pick up, because they will know the pattern. So as you've seen, they're at the side of you, go out, took the food, okay, I put the food out, I walk back, I pay them for being in the car, because if not, some will shoot past me. I walk towards them, paid them, all that will fade out later, yeah? This is that early stage, so I'm giving feedback to that dog, breaking it right down to them. So I have them on the board, I put the food out, I send them to the board, I step behind the board as they've ate the food, I recall, bring them in, pay in position. So I'm teaching, go out, come back, face me. Go out, come back, face me. All right, so here we go again. So I'm going to pay Jimmy for being there. Sit. Food out, little bit, pay him for staying on the board. Take to the side of him. Whistle at the ready. Never ever send your dog for a retrieve without your whistle at the whistle at the ready. Get it. Get it. Good lad. Good boy. Yay. I didn't even need me recall then, did I? But you should keep your recall on, especially in the early stages, yeah? He's just has done a little bit of this pattern, as you can tell. And if you were, so imagine you were the special retrievers, you just learned to bring them back so they are with you. But that is after they've delivered and you've asked them to turn with you. Again, there are so many different types of retrieves. This is just about the pattern, all right? So we'll go again. Good boy. Walking out, putting the food in the bowl. I don't put a lot, I only put a few little pieces. I don't need to have, otherwise they're going to be prolonged out there. He ran in, I'll let that because he's a puppy. Yes, good lad. With a puppy, I'm not going to go mad at that little running. Things like that happen. He's a baby. My God, if I don't want to completely suppress him. I want to keep his drive up. Okay, so for me, that is not the be all and end all, okay? Jimmy. Good boy. Good boy. Get it? Yes. Yay! Yay! Good lad. Good lad. Well done. So I'm going to stop there with him a minute, let him have a break because he is a baby and it's good for you to see anyway. But like I said, that second time I just paid him again to say, just hang on a minute, lined him. And I've not at the moment with Jimmy creeped right down because I do get lower with it. I like I said, look where my body language is though. It's in line there with the dog's feet. My body language is pushing in the line of where I want the dog to go. So eventually it'll be like this, which I'll do more, which you will see with Sid. Here it's just a little bit I'm building up with Jimmy, my arm going out so he gets used to that, but he goes on my verbal. Alright, so it's a nice little line. So, okay, imagine he's done a couple of them. What I will do now is I'll bring a little article in. Now, like I said to you in the clip previously, this is once you've really honed on them food bowls, especially with those who you might be funny with delivery, okay? Work on the bowls first. Don't do it as quick as I'm showing. I am doing a demonstration of how we start and where we get to, okay? Jimmy, good boy. Get it? Yay! Good boy, Jimmy. Yay! But you seen he went a little curved, okay, and that just goes to show me, right, we're not 100% on our pattern. I didn't expect that from a puppy year's age, but also I didn't put pressure on going to grab it. He mentioned, oh yeah, I know what we're doing, we're bringing it back to you. Took my time, built value in, coming in here. Jim. Boy, Jimmy. Get it? Yay! Good lad! Wow! Good boy! Awesome! Yay! I'm not asking any more. No. Well done, mister. And I'm not going to ask any more of Jimmy. That is enough. He is a baby, right? I like to use a paint roll for puppies because it's light, but they can teach to carry it properly. I do use balls as well because I want to, especially with spaniels, I want him ball motorics. He does do a lot with balls as well. But on this one, I like that because they learn to hold things properly. It's light. If you've got a bit of someone who likes plucking or anything like that, it might not be the best tool to go for. You can buy some stuff without anything they can pull on, okay? But it's light, it's not easy. If you put a heavy dummy too soon with a young puppy, it's going to put them off wanting to retrieve, okay? So you've got to consider who the dog is in front. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get Sid so we can refine it a little bit more. Hey, Jim Bobs. Oh, yes. But that, you can see that was good for the puppy version of it, yeah? I took my time. Little things like the running and that, I'm not bothered about, yeah? I'm not expecting him to eat my thing. Are you eating my thing? Thank you very much. I'm not expecting him, okay, at this stage to be perfection on it because he's not, he's learning. We're still building our friendship, and as you can see anyway, it blows his brain, hence the mouthing's coming in. All right, so that is with the puppy. Now I'll get Sid. My criteria here, I've got Siddy with me, okay? So I now want my criteria to be a little bit more with an older dog. Okay, sit there please. I want it to be a bit more. As you've seen with the puppy clip, I let the little runs in and that. I do not want Sid to do this. I want him to literally listen to my verbal, go out, come back, no messing, okay? It's the same principle though. I'll have the board, him on the board, leave him in a sit stay, put the food out, him come back, wait for my lineup, then send him, okay? I do not want any running in on this. Once he's gone there for the food, he comes back, we build value back here, all right? Bang. Go again. Then I will show you with an article, okay? But you might see when I have an article with him, his delivery will not be the food, it will probably be a tennis ball, because that is his go-to for these things. For him to full on, he likes to chase behind him, that's what his reward is. So I go with what's motivating my dog, that's what motivates Sid. But here, what I'm doing is I just want to work on that pattern. This is what this clip's about. It's about that line out, go back, go out, back, go out, back, all right? So, food out. I'm going to still take Sid at the moment, this learning environment, right there, good lad. My line is a bit lower. Get it? Yes, good lad. And I'm paying him in that position again, just like you did see me with young Jimmy, okay? Step round. Alright, like I said, this is just the first pattern. Don't be thinking, those who know a lot more, that right, this is just learn, go out, come back, go out, come back, alright? Get it? Good boy. And I want him to go on my verbal. You seen then I pause my arm for a little bit, because I don't want him thinking when that goes out, you go. That is the way you are going. That is what that means. That's the way you're going. You see my body, I was focused on where I wanted him to go, okay? So that is important. When they get really good at this, you can do what I call the cue discrimination game, which is, are they listening to your verbal or are they going on the visual, okay? So you can have a bit of fun with it. So it could be something like, banana, cheese, chocolate. Get it? Yeah. So they're listening to that verbal. I want them to listen. That helps with steadiness, okay? Right then. So I've got the pattern. I want to bring my first article in, okay? I want to bring in that nice pattern, see how it goes, all right? So you've seen it with Puppy. Now you're going to see it with Sid, but you'll see a different reward with Sid, because the food and bringing a dummy is way more valuable for Sid than food. Food is not his be-all and end-all, okay? But what I'm showing is you that detail, that pattern that you can really hone in on with your dog. All right, Sid. Siddy. Get it? Yes, good lad. So put it away. Right, you seen there, when I delivered, when he delivered to me, I put it away first, right? Put it away first, put it behind me, then I paid the reward, right? Get that calmness first, even when you're with the food bowl, okay? When you do get to deliver, you do get a delivery like that, put your dog away. Sometimes people are holding, grabbing, they've got food in hand, that's just going to cause chaos. Put it away, then pay them in that moment, alright? So, make it a bit longer. Good boy, Siddy. Come on. Let's go, Sid. Thank you. At the moment as well in this early learning, because I've got the sit stay, imagine, I'm placing, I'm not throwing. I will teach you steadiness separate. I'm placing nice and calmly. I'm blocking it. Get it? Yes, good lad. Yeah. So that is how I introduce the retrieve pattern, okay? I fade the board as well. I also sometimes, when you're probably thinking, well, they're only learning with the board. Yes, I fade it, right? So I can still do the food bowl exercise without the board. I can do the same principle off the board. go out combating, so they deliver the same way, okay? So they don't take that picture, as I always talk about, part of the picture with the placeboard and the retrieve, all right? So that is the introduction to the retrieve pattern. Bye.